So June has been a hectic month. I read some and watched a lot more. And I also watched a show which was so hyped but was the biggest disappointment according to me. So don't forget to watch till the end to know what that show was. This is everything that I read and watched in the month of June. The first book that I read was Picking Daisies on Sundays. It's one of those books that get famous on TikTok because of its cute cover, but it's not cute at all. The female main character has such low self esteem. She gets into the most prestigious French fashion college. Apparently, she's the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world, and every guy is hitting on her, but she's oblivious to all of that. And the male main character writes a whole book in French for her, and she still thinks that he wrote this out of pity. I mean, girl, what? You need therapy. So I didn't enjoy this book at all. And the next book that I read was Ultra Processed People. It was the first fiction book that I read this year so far, and it was a very eye-opening book about how the food industry has evolved, or rather devolved. So the food that you get in packets is not really food at all, and how it is created, how it is so ultra processed and hyper palatable that you keep going back to it again and again, but उसमें कुछ भी nutritional benefits नहीं है, कुछ भी real food नहीं है. How the food industry plays with your mind, plays with your taste buds just to make you addicted to their food so that you keep coming back to them again and again. I think it's a must read in today's world and age. So, to balance out Picking Daisies on Sundays, the next book that I read was The House in the Cerulean Sea. It is such a beautiful book. It is so cozy, so wholesome. It talks about how we form preconceived notions because of some stereotypes, because of some experiences we've had, or how society expects us to behave. But more often than not, the notion sahi nahi hote hai once you actually get to know the person. In this book also, the male main character has formed some preconceived notions, but eventually breaks it, talks about found family, and it's such a cozy book. I'll recommend this book if you want to get back into reading or want to start reading. It's easy to read and a very wholesome book. So these are the books that I read in the month of June. And here's everything that I watched. The first show that I watched was Euphoria ka season 3. At this point, I was watching Euphoria just because I've watched season 1 and season 2. At this point, everybody knows that it's a brain rot of a show, but somehow it was still addictive. मैंने पूरा show बहुत जल्दी खत्म कर दिया. But I mean, if you haven't started watching Euphoria, I not recommend that show to you. The next show that I watched was surprising. That was The Mandalorian का season 1, 2 and 3. I started watching Star Wars बहुत बचपन में and didn't enjoy it. मुझे बहुत boring लगी थी. So I haven't watched any single Star Wars movie. But then I started watching Mandalorian and quite liked it. बहुत fun, entertaining writing style है and it's very well made. तो बहुत addictive है and Grogu is so cute. Then I also watched the movie which came out, The Mandalorian and Grogu. मूवी उतनी अच्छी नहीं लगी. It felt like a side quest जो शो में maybe 2 to 3 episodes long होता and didn't really add anything to the show. So I didn't understand what the point of was for the movie. And then I watched A Good Girl's Guide to Murder ka season 2 which just came out, and some surprisingly I like this season much better than season 1. Season 1 में कुछ deviations थे and not in a good way, but season 2 ने बहुत अच्छा capture किया what the book is all about. Same vibe थी, same storyline थी, same plot था. So it was much better than season 1, and I'm very excited for the next season to come out. And then I watched the 4 seasons, season 2. I actually watched season 1 fairly recently as well. This show is also very cozy, very wholesome, funny too. I started watching the show because it had Steve Carell in the first season. मतलब बहुत अच्छा शो है जिसमें ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाना पड़ता एंड इट्स फन टू वॉच बिंज वर्दी. देन आई वॉच माँ बहन. तो ज़्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं थे मूवी के लिए, but somehow I really liked it. It talks about all the feminist concepts, but in a very subtle, satirical way. So I actually enjoyed the movie. And now I will talk about the biggest disappointment of the year, The Widow's Bay. So this show is about a small island where the people living there think that the island is cursed, but the mayor wants to turn that around and wants that island to become a big tourist destination. But लोगों को नहीं चाहिए कि वहाँ पे बाहर से लोग आए so that they also suffer because they think that the island is cursed. And the genre is horror comedy, which I think is a very new genre क्योंकि satirical horror तो बनता है and उस पे बहुत सारे मूवीज एंड शो है, बट दिस शो स्टार्टेड आउट वेरी डिफरेंटली। पहले के 3-4 एपिसोड्स बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे थे, बहुत फन थे, उसमें ईरी वाइब्स भी थे, हॉरर भी था, कॉमेडी भी थी, एंड यू डोंट नो वेदर द आइलैंड इज एक्चुअली कर्स्ड और नॉट। बट देन बाद के एपिसोड्स में तो शो completely lost the plot and it could have been bigger, much better show, but then it was a complete disappointment according to me. If you have watched the show, let me know, did you like it or not? So this is everything that I read and watched in the month of June. What was the show that you enjoyed the most in the month of June? Let me know in the comments. And if you like the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.